Most people think history is a straight line from cavemen to smartphones, but if you look closely at ancient Greece, you'll realize we haven't been moving forward as steadily as you think. Here are 20 mind-blowing facts that prove the Greeks were living in a different century long before we were. Number 1. Heron of Alexandria invented the first steam engine in the 1st century AD. It was called the Iolipile. It was essentially a spinning metal sphere powered by jet propulsion. He built it 2,000 years before the Industrial Revolution. Number 2. The Greeks had vending machines. Heron designed one for temples. You dropped a coin in a slot, the weight pushed a lever, and out came holy water for washing hands. Number 3. They possessed a functional analog computer. Known as the Antikythera mechanism, this bronze device featured over 30 interlocking gears. It could predict eclipses and the dates of the Olympic Games decades into the future. Nothing this complex appeared in Europe again until the 14th century. Number 4. They mapped the stars with shocking accuracy. Aristarchus of Samos proposed a heliocentric model, the Earth revolving around the Sun, 18 centuries before Copernicus. Number 5. Eratosthenes calculated the circumference of the Earth in 240 BC. He used 2 sticks, 2 shadows, and basic geometry. His calculation was off by less than 2%. Number 6. They practiced advanced medicine. Hippocrates moved healing away from magic and into the realm of observation and biology. He identified the brain as the seat of intelligence, not the heart. Number 7. They invented the odometer. Used for measuring distances traveled by carriages, it featured a series of gears that dropped pebbles into a container every mile. Number 8. They pioneered democracy in 508 BC. Athens allowed citizens to vote directly on laws. Wasn't perfect, but it laid the groundwork for every modern republic. Number 9. The Greeks utilized central heating. Buildings in Ephesus featured spaces in the walls that allowed heated air to circulate from furnaces below the floor. Number 10. They had early alarm clocks. Plato supposedly had a water clock that triggered a whistling sound at the start of his lectures. Number 11. They invented the crane. The Greeks needed to move massive stone blocks for their temples, so they built sophisticated pulley systems that allowed one man to lift weights that should have required dozens. Number 12. They theorized the existence of atoms. Democritus suggested that all matter was composed of tiny, indestructible particles called atomos. He was right, despite having no microscope to prove it. Number 13. They understood the concept of the human right to a fair trial. The Athenian jury system was massive, sometimes involving hundreds of citizens to ensure that bribery was nearly impossible. Number 14. They developed complex plumbing. The Minoans on Crete had flushing toilets and drainage systems that were arguably more sanitary than those found in many medieval European cities. Number 15. They held the first recorded international sporting event in 776 BC. The Olympics weren't just games, they were a diplomatic tool that triggered a sacred truce across warring city-states. Number 16. They invented the concept of the map projection. Anaximander created the first world map, attempting to represent the spherical Earth on a flat surface. Number 17. They utilized a primitive form of cryptography. The Spartans used the cytale, a device that encrypted messages by wrapping parchment around a rod of a specific diameter. Number 18. They pioneered the use of the screw. Archimedes is credited with the water screw, a device used to pump water uphill for irrigation and mine drainage. Number 19. They established the concept of the scientific method. Aristotle didn't just guess. He observed, categorized, and recorded findings to create repeatable knowledge. Number 20. They built the first theater, not just for plays, but as a psychological tool. They understood that collective storytelling could purge emotions and create a shared sense of reality. When you strip away our modern gadgets, the differences between us and the Greeks become paper-thin. They lacked electricity and digital processing, but their intellectual software was identical to ours. Perhaps the real question isn't how they got so advanced so early. Maybe the question is why it took us so long to catch back up. History doesn't always move in a straight line. Sometimes it resets. What will we leave behind if our own gears stop turning?